Hi, I'm Laura. It's nice to see you again and welcome to Tuesday's reflection time. Today the Bible reading is coming from Luke chapter 19 and it's one of my favourite passages. See what you think. Then Jesus entered and walked through Jericho. There was a man there, his name was Zacchaeus, the head taxman, and he was quite rich. He wanted desperately to see Jesus, but the crowd was in his way. He was a short man and couldn't see over the crowd, so he ran on ahead and climbed up a sycamore tree so he could see Jesus when he came by. When Jesus got to the tree, he looked up and said, "Zacchaeus, hurry down. Today is the day I'm going to be guest at your house." Zacchaeus scrambled out of the tree, hardly believing his good luck, delighted to take Jesus home with him. Everyone else who saw this incident was very indignant and quite grumpy. What business does he have getting cosy with that crook? Zacchaeus just stood there, a little stunned. He stammered apologetically, "Master, I give away half my income to the poor, and if I caught cheating, I'll pay them back 4 times. Jesus said, Today salvation has come to this home. Here he is, Zacchaeus, son of Abraham, for the Son of Man came to find and restore the lost." I like this story. I like it because it's quite funny and it's got quite a lot of humour in it. The idea of a little short man scampering along the road, climbing a tree and then kind of, oh my goodness, I've got to go and rustle up some dinner, just makes me feel quite, makes me smile inside. It is the kind of chaotic life that most of you will know I have, really. But I also like it because it's about being picked. Now, all of us have got a story about being picked, haven't we? For me, when I was younger, I always wanted to be very good at everything. I was a little bit too try-hardy and I really wanted to be good. And I had lots of things I wanted to be good at: drawing and colouring and spinning and dancing and running and music and anything really, anything I could be good at. But I really wanted to be in the netball team at primary school. See, being in the netball team at primary school, you got given like a super cool bib and you could be one of those girls that walk around the playground in the netball team. There are several things against my netball team status. One, I was quite clumsy and still am. It took me a long time to learn to catch a ball, and so that was quite tricky. The second thing was I was quite a wimp. And so if the ball came at me, you know, either covered in mud or water or just, you know, quite hard, you know, when it hits your hands and it stings, well, I would kind of scream and inevitably drop the ball again. And the third thing was that I was actually quite skinny and quite short. And this is a definite disadvantage in netball. And so my memories of primary school of playing netball are being quite cold and then having lots of very tall girls put their hands over me and trying to stop me getting the ball and throwing it. And of course, like everyone else, what I really wanted to be was a goal shooter. I wanted to score that winning goal and win the match, and the glory would be mine. But obviously, the uncoordinated, clumsy, slightly screamy, skinny girl hardly ever shot a goal. And instead, when I did play, I was on the wing. All I had to do was run a lot, catch the ball, and pass it on. Run, throw, catch. Run, throw, catch. But even though I was in a rubbish position, I still really, really wanted to be in the team. So, Zacchaeus wants to be in Jesus' team. And he's kind of been medalled out a bit, he's elbowed out, partly because he's short, and partly, let's be honest, nobody likes him. If he'd been a short, nice man, he might have got to the front of the crowd, but this crowd is definitely not letting that short, arrogant, annoying man through to see Jesus. And so he climbs a tree. And it says in this version of the Bible that he was the head taxman, so he's probably used to getting his way. I imagine him being a bit of a bully, a bit scary. And here this little short man who can't get his own way is climbing a tree. He really wants to be picked. And as he walks past, Jesus does the most surprising thing and calls him down and says, "I'm coming to your house for tea." Now the crowd are grumpy. I mean, of all the people to pick, this is like picking me, skinny, uncoordinated, screamy, cold girl, as your goal shooter for your school team. It's not the best option for a rabbi. The rabbi should not be hanging out with him. He's annoyed people, he's stolen money, he's a crook, and he's important. But Jesus, in this version, seems to have quite a lot of humour and says, I'm coming to your house for tea. Today is your lucky day. And how does Zacchaeus respond? Well, Zacchaeus responds, doesn't he? And it says here, with stammering and stumbling, he says, I will give away my money and I will return the money I've stolen 4 times over. In other ways, I will amend my ways, I will confess what I've done, and I will repair the damage. And Jesus does not need to hear anything else. He just goes, hooray, salvation has come to this house, because the Son of Man came to find and restore the lost. And so the hope for all of us, isn't it, is that in all our shortness and all our arrogance and all our defaults, if we try to come towards Jesus, he will come towards us. It says, doesn't it, draw near to him and he will draw near to you. So if you're waiting to be picked, maybe lockdown makes you feel a bit unpicked. You're not in one of those special groups of people who can go to work, or the special groups of people who can travel around. You're in the boring group. You're in the unpicked group, the group that are staying at home. Why don't you ask Jesus if he's got a job for you to do? Because I bet you he has. In all the circumstances, in all places, in all times, in many, many creative ways, Jesus is just waiting for us to climb a tree and go, me too, me too. So go on today, give it a go. You might meet a humorous Jesus who goes, climb out the tree, come and hang out with me and see what we get up to. He's come to find and restore. Find and restore. That's what he does. Why don't you let him do it to you today?